A very good evening to all of you, my dear kids. I am Manisha Das on behalf of eTuition family. Welcome you all to today's class. Let me remind you that our eTuition family is providing quality education for your better tomorrow. So don't forget to be a part of our family. So my dear class 9 students, we have completed our chapter 6. So today we are going to discuss all the question answer in your NCERT book. So let's see, have you revised or not? Okay. So let's move ahead. So the first question is, define the term tissue. It means, what do you mean by tissue? Can you recall? Tissues are a group of cells, right? A group of cells which together performs a particular function, right? Okay. So let's see. Group of cells that are similar in structure, their structure should be similar and they perform same function is called a tissue. Okay. So tissues are group of cells that are similar in structure and perform same or particular function. Clear? Okay. Now the second question is, how many types of elements together make up the xylem tissue? Name them. We have studied, right? We have discussed that what are the different types of elements present in the xylem. So the xylem is made up of vessels, tracheids, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Okay. So there are 4 types. What are they? Vessels, tracheids, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Okay. Yeah. Now moving to the next question. Question number 3. How are simple tissues different from complex tissues in plants? Can you recall the plant tissues we have divided them into simple tissues and complex tissues. So what is the main difference between them, my dear kids? See, simple tissues are made up of one type of cells which coordinate. It means which work together to perform a common function. Same function they perform. They are made up of one type of similar type of cells. But complex tissues are made up of more than one type. They are made up of different types of cells and all these also coordinate. They also work together to perform a common function. So the main difference is, in simple tissue all the cells are of same type, but in complex tissues the cells are of different types. Okay. Now moving to the next question, differentiate between parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma on the basis of their cell wall. We have already discussed in our previous chapter. See, in this chapter, in the previous lessons, previous part, we have discussed that how are the cell walls of parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma made. Okay, so now see, parenchyma, the cell wall have thin walls made up of cellulose, but in collenchyma the cell are thickened and at the corners due to pectin deposition. What is deposited? Pectin. And sclerenchyma, their walls are thickened due to lignin deposition. So in parenchyma it is made up of cellulose, in collenchyma it is made up of pectin and in sclerenchyma it is made up of lignin. Okay, clear? Yeah. Now moving to the next, what are the function of stomata? We have seen, right, stomata helps in the gaseous exchange, right? So the outermost layer of the cell is called as epidermis and it is very porous. We have studied in plant cell, the outermost it is having epidermis and it has tiny pores, small holes. These pores are called as stomata and they help in the breathing of the plant. It means they help in transpiration also. It means loss of the excess water and exchange of gases. It means in breathing it helps. Clear? Yeah. Now moving to the next, diagrammatically show the difference between the 3 types of muscle fiber. So here I haven't put the diagram. You have, it is already in your book and I have also shown you in my previous part. So now only we will discuss about the difference. Okay. So striated means scratched, right? They are connected to bones. They are also called as skeletal muscle, right? They are connected with the bones, so they are called as skeletal muscle and they are voluntary muscles. What are voluntary muscles? It means we can control their action, right? Yeah. Now the cells are long, cylindrical with many nucleus. They are multinucleate. Can you recall? Yes. And are unbranched. Then smooth muscles. They are found in alimentary canal and lungs and they are involuntary. We cannot control their movement, right? And they are spindle in shape and have single nucleus. They are not multinucleate. They have only one nucleus in the cell, right? Okay. Now cardiac muscle. Cardiac is a term related with heart. So they are found in our heart and they are involuntary. We cannot control their action, right? And they are branched and have one nucleus. Clear? Again we'll recall, striated means scratched. Okay, they are connected with the bone, which is called a skeletal muscle. They are voluntary, we can control their action. They are multinucleate because they are having more than one nucleus. Smooth muscles, they are involuntary, we cannot control their action. They are found in alimentary canal and lungs, and they have single nucleus. And cardiac muscle, cardiac is a term related with heart, so they are present in our heart, and we cannot control their function as they are involuntary, and they have one nucleus. Clear? Yes. Moving to the next. What is the specific function of the cardiac muscle? Now only we have discussed, right? Cardiac muscles are found in our heart. So cardiac muscle cells are cylindrical, branched and uninucleated. Uni means one. So each cell is having only one nucleus, and they are involuntary. We cannot control their function, and they show rhythmic contraction because our heart beats, right? It pumps the blood. So rhythmically it contract and relax. It contract and relax. So these muscles control their contraction and relaxation. Their rhythmic contraction and relaxation helps in the pumping action of the heart. It pumps the blood. So how? These muscles only help them to contract and relax. Clear? Yeah. Now moving to the next, differentiate between striated, unstriated and cardiac muscles on the basis of their structure and location in the body. Now only we have discussed, my dear kids. See, shape. Striated means skeletal muscle. How is their shape? They are long, cylindrical and non-tapering and are unbranched. But unstriated, they are long with tapering. Okay, tapering and are unbranched. And cardiac muscles, they are branched. They have non-tapering and cylindrical in shape. Now only we have discussed, same question only. Location, striated muscles are in hands, legs and skeletal muscle. Unstriated, they are involuntary, right? Stomach, intestine, ureter and bronchi. And cardiac muscles in the heart, because cardiac is a term related with the heart. The light and dark bands, they are present. Scratches, right? Unstriated, absent, and cardiac present but not prominent. Okay, light scratches are there. Yeah. Now moving to the next, draw a level diagram of neuron. Neuron means nerve cells, right? So this is the basic structure, as it is having one nucleus and cytoplasm is there, and branched structures, hair-like structures are called as dendrite, and chain-like structure is called as the axon, and axon is having one covering which is called as myelin sheath. And nodes of Ranvier means the joining of one axon with another axon, and the axon terminal or nerve ending. Clear? Okay, you just practice the diagram, it is very important. Okay, now moving to the next. Name the following. It means you have to name which type of tissue. Tissue that form the inner lining of our mouth. Which is it? They are the squamous epithelium. And tissue that connect muscle to bone, they are tendons. Muscles to bone, they are tendons, right? And tissue that transport food in plants, food, food, phloem, pronunciation. See, phloem, food. Yes. Tissues that stores fat in our body, adipose tissues, right? They are bulged because they stores the fat. And connective tissue with a fluid matrix. A connective tissue which is having a fluid matrix, blood, and tissue present in the brain, nerve tissue, right? Nervous tissues. Very good. Now moving to the next, identify the type of tissue in the following. So we have to identify which kind of tissue is present in our skin, bark of tree, bone, lining of kidney tubule and vascular bundle. Let us see. So in skin we have striated squamous epithelium. In bark of tree it is hard, right? So it has cork which is a protective tissue. And bone, it is the connective tissue. Lining of kidney tubule, cuboidal epithelium tissue, and vascular bundle, conducting tissue. It means xylem and phloem, right? Clear? Yeah. Now name the regions in which parenchyma tissue is present. Can you name? See, in the pith of the roots and stem, when it contains chlorophyll, if the parenchyma is having chlorophyll, we will call it chlorenchyma, and which is found in the green leaves. But in aquatic plants, see, they are very light, right? Because they have air cavities, large air cavities which help them to float. So these parenchyma cells which have air cavities in them, they are called as arenchyma. Yeah. Now see, what is the role of epidermis in plants? Epidermis means it is the outer layer. So what is its function? Cells of epidermis forms a continuous layer without intercellular spaces. There is no space between epidermis. Okay, so it protects all parts of the plant because it is the outer covering. What is the function of a outer covering? It will protect. In the same way, it protects all parts of the plants. Yeah. Now, how does the cork act as a protective layer? Tell me, cork, the hard covering, right? So, cork acts as a protective tissue because its cells are dead and compactly arranged. It means they are tightly arranged without any intercellular spaces. There is no space in between them. So, how anything will pass? They have deposition of suberin on the walls that make them impervious to gases and water. So, gases and water also cannot, they will not enter, they will selectively enter, right? So in this way they are called as a protective tissue, they protect them. Now complete the table. So the table, see, permanent tissue in plants having simple and complex tissues. Simple tissues are further divided into parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, and complex tissues are divided into xylem and phloem. So just remember this table, it will be easy for you to name or remember the different types of tissue present in the plants. Okay, yeah. So with this we have completed the lesson, and in the next class we will be discussing about a very interesting chapter, so stay tuned. So my dear kids, a very beautiful quote for you: the only real failure in life is the failure to try. So see, whenever you fail in your life, you may be thinking, oh, I failed. But if you will not try again, it is the biggest failure. Because you have heard the most famous quote, I think, failure is the pillar of success. It means, for example, when you are learning to ride a bicycle, okay, in the first try, I guess, in the first try, you haven't learned. Yes, you haven't learned. But by trying again and again, you may be falling, you may be having injury, but after trying again and again, you succeeded, right? So in the same way, in life also, after one failure, we should not stop trying. We should try again and again, because success comes to those who do not stop trying. Yeah, so we have to try, and surely we have to do the hard work, and we will get the success, and the fruit of success is very sweet, right? Okay, so at last I would like to request you that please don't forget to be a part of our eTuition family. Be with us, join with us, and enjoy your free classes and get benefited. Have a happy learning. Thank you, my dear kids. So we will meet again in the next class with a very interesting new chapter. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye.